All right, we're about to get to it, guys. I hope everybody's doing all right. Let me shut this window. Like I said, it's on the verge of thunderstorming outside here. It's been pretty crazy today, weather-wise. I hope you guys can hear me all right. I know I don't have a great mic hooked up, but that's not the point of doing these live streams. It's more getting in contact with y'all, reaching out, and working on some art together, you know? I'm going to grab something. I'll be right back. I don't have a whole lot of time to stream today. Probably give it about an hour's worth of stream time. Last time I was drawing, I noticed it was pretty rickety drawing on my table with the tablet. So this time I'm going to bring out my tablet stand. And put that up there, and we'll go ahead and change the nature of the filming location. Got a lot of stuff going on this table though, so you'll have to accept my apologies for the way everything looks. Good Lord, this thing does not want to stay up now. Ooh. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. That's a much better angle for doing this. Like I said, it got a little wonky last stream. Trying to draw from this position. Oh. A little bit of background music. Alrighty. I hope everybody's been great. Alrighty. So first I wanted to catch everybody up. I don't know if everybody was in the last live stream. I do not believe so. In the last live stream, I talked about my hand. As we can see, the surgery, I'm still rehabilitating. I can't bend this finger straight forward. So clay work right now is going to be minimal. If anything, it feels a little bit therapeutic, but my hand gets a little tight from time to time. So I've been drawing, but editing and typing has been difficult. So like I said in the last video, I have been drawing and making things. I'm always involved in art and working on projects, so I have projects done. Let me turn this down a bit. Don't want to be competing with the music either, you know. All right, so what I'm working on here, if you've not been filled in or following what's been going on, is the city of Suffolk, Virginia, which is like a city county. It's a lot of square miles, makes up a whole county, but it's also Suffolk City. Used to be Nansemond County. They're looking for a mural for this building, as you probably saw in the thumbnail for the stream. I talked about a little bit last time some of my ideas about what I wanted to see on here, and compared to the last stream when I was just starting out with the background, we can see how this is developed. So I have some native people representing the Nansemond. I even talked to some people from the Nansemond tribe to get their feelings on it, to see how they were being portrayed. So I started there. Then I moved a little bit in the future, And we have the logging industry. Put some logs floating out in the water, a barge. There's little people down here. But as I talked about last time, the resolution of the picture and the resolution of my drawing is going to be low, just enough to get the project and the concept through. I'm not looking to detail everything. Plus, if I'm looking at 14 feet right here, we're talking of this being about 6 feet tall, making that about 7 inches, which is already going to be a lot of detail work with the spray cans if I don't go ahead and bring some markers. Let's not do that. So then I added this, and I'm actually, one of the things I was thinking about doing today is actually making this a bigger sign that covers more of the water, and I could write Suffolk and, you know, city information. But that's something I was thinking about doing today. I added this train because the train was a big part of the influence and the growth of the community of Suffolk. So I decided to put in a train there, a steam train. This is what they call a 440 steam train. This is a popular historic landmark in the city of Suffolk. It's also actually apartments. I believe it's been cut up into 4 apartments, but this is a historic home that one of the former governors of Virginia grew up in. And it's passed hands a few times. He even went on to be a congressman, I believe. So I just want to get an inference of that. I'm just using pictures I found online and trying to update them and color them and make them appealing. So what I've been working on recently has been this Phoenix Bank of Nansemond County. It was a African American owned bank. So I wanted to include that in there. In between the two buildings, I was thinking about maybe putting in an ode to the tobacco industry, or maybe growth of the city, like maybe remove or place some rooftops and steeples amongst the trees to show growth. I don't know. A couple of different concepts, but like I said, I've been working on the idea for a couple of days now. Goodness gracious, probably 5 or 6 days. I think I learned about it Thursday night, so I've been working on it every day since. Again, I'm not trying to make a super accurate portrayal of anything. I'm not trying to do frame by frame, pixel by pixel representation of everything. I just want to convey the idea of what it is that I'm trying to put on the wall and sell that idea. I also, this next week, need to write a letter of intent to send to the city that I intend to submit a work for this project, just so I give them a heads up. And, you know, I may still not get this project even putting in all this work, but that's the groundwork you have to do, you know. So again, because I'm working in small pixels, I could have made all of these illustrations much larger and then shrunk them down to this size, and I could have added so much more detail, but then once I condensed it, it would have lost resolution anyways. So instead, I just, like I said, I'm working with the inference of what I'm going to do. And then when I'm actually there with brushes and cans and markers, I can decide better what I think I'm capable of doing. So let's work for a little bit here. I mean, hell, that's what the stream is, right? So I wanted to give this a forced perspective of going upward, kind of like this is doing, but I feel like because this angle isn't as steep as the actual angle in the photograph, this building seems warped. So I'm going to go ahead and go right here. We'll get in here. I'm using ArtFlow is the name of this program. It is a free resource available online. Jeez, what is going on here? Do that. I don't know which layer I'm on either. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm on the bottom layer. I don't need that. I need to be up here. There we go. We'll put that in there. And then, what is going on with my stylus today? I almost run through a whole second stylus already. Okay, well, let's try another stylus. So these are actually pretty cheap, these replacement stylus tips. I think I got a bag of 10 of them or 15 of them for $1 or something like that. But sometimes I feel like they wear down way too fast, or maybe my sensitivity needs to be brought up on my tablet. I'm not sure. So, all right, trash can. All right, let's try this again. Ah, yes, that's much better. Much, much, much better. Yeah. And I think it should also fade back this way, just so that it leans out with that angle that we are hoping for. Yeah. Bitty, 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 bitty. All right. All right, yeah, we're starting to get some of that in there. You want to make sure everything is keeping with the perspective, even though it's in a small format and not the actual finished drawing. Like, you want to make sure you're showing them what you can do, your best work. You're giving them a good look at what you're capable of, because they also have to feel like they're investing in an outcome, you know. Stop moving. All right. I wish this could get in better focus, but it just doesn't want to focus. And I think part of that is this Lord have mercy, I'm having all kinds of trouble with this thing today. Sorry. All right. Whatever. I don't know why you're being lame. I'm gonna go with. Let's grab that color right here. Go over here. I want to hit this inside this window and bring it to the real world, you know. Drop my opacity, and then when I do a pass over here, it doesn't lighten this up too much, and I can lighten it gradually. You see there's a door in there, so I'm gonna want to take and minimize my pixel size because there is a window there, so I want to keep that window imagery there as much as possible. And we'll go around where the window would be. And now it's suddenly starting to look more like a door. You see? Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. I don't know who that jam is, but I want to hear that again. I mean, I don't have anybody in the chat, so why the hell not? If it's what I like. All right. All right, guys. Oh. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so I don't want to give too much light to this window. As we can see, it is very much darker, but I do feel like the top corner here might need just a little bit more brightness here. Let's turn that opacity up. Just hit that corner a few times. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty dope, actually. All right, so I'm going to take some of this bright color while I have it here, turned up in opacity. I'm going to put some glare in these windows. Alrighty, a little bit of glare. There we go. Alright. Grab that side color. We're going to take it up just a little bit more here. And because the building goes so far back, I'm actually going to pull this out here. And I'll do like this. And I'll show you why here in a second. Okay. Turn off that layer. I'm going to bring my size of my pixels up and way down the opacity. And I'm going to try to just make it erase gradually, maybe a little more opacity, and get it to blend into these trees a little better. Sometimes trying to get this thing to touch, man, is hard. X Bank of Nansemond. You can't read that anyways. It looks like digital camouflage. So yeah, when I'm up close, I may want to do a stencil just to make that clear. But I do like the way that looks. Let's take a look at this sign. I'm gonna find that layer. I'm pretty sure this is that layer here. You also might notice that I've put my layers, behind objects just to make it look like it's in the space more. Yeah, so I'm going to cover up that presumptive design with this. Of course, I think I could do a better font or typeface, when the time comes, but as of right now, I don't see a necessity in making it look typeface appropriate. It's going to be a very basic Times New Roman-esque type anyways, would be my goal, to make it look as standard, nondescript as possible. Let the sign do the speaking, maybe add something to that, date of incorporation or population in any certain year. I could choose a year. Around the 1700s would probably be the best idea with the timeline, but I want to also show it's a city burgeoning on growth and new technology, new opportunities. So hopefully I can do that as well. I just don't want to focus completely on the past. Let me just be retarded here. Excuse my language. I come from a different time. And then yeah, that's a much better size and palette to add a sign to, and it shows better the perspective I was going for. So let's go to eraser. We're going to go to for opacity, line. You hear that thunder? You're supposed to go down a little bit, I didn't want to do that. Let's go back here. An emotional mess, yes. Not that anybody wants to do that. I don't suggest it from my own personal experience. Don't make an emotional mess. Or, get involved with one period. All right. So, yeah. So I'm just taking it across there. I can always make it look like it's got a border or something here in a little bit, but right now I just kind of wanted to get it started, cleaned up. I didn't like the thin design that I had before, so the idea was to try to tighten that up. Alrighty. All right. What do we think here? there are a couple of options. Like I said, I could put Suffolk and its incorporation date underneath it, or Suffolk County or Suffolk City, because they have a quite interesting history. So right now I'm just going to leave that the way that is. That'll be something I decide towards the end, I think. I was a little bit nervous about covering the river, but I do think it works. Right now it kind of looks like a bridge, but go over here. I was thinking about let's add a layer here to the top. If I can get this thing to register, Lord have mercy. My tip does not want to work, boy. Lord have mercy. All right. Let's work on some sketch stuff. All right. Do Mr. Peanut up here. I'll drop this down in the blackness while we sketch. Mr. Peanut. I want to do the original design of Mr. Peanut, which he had like a human face right there, which was a little creepy. But obviously, the top hat and the monocle. And then he's like famous for having the stick arms and cane, right? Isn't that kind of his thing? Planters, peanuts, Mr. Peanut. I believe he's kind of sultry leaning. Okay. And he's like something like that, right? His legs are. His legs are maybe like that. Maybe not. Maybe that's not what they are. Maybe it's... I'll have to look at it. Right now, I'll just put in a space saver. Put us a peanut shape. And... I don't know, give him the fucking... Get a little captain in you. Have him drinking a mug of beer. I don't know. I'll put a little hat on him. His little face. So yeah, that's, I was thinking about Mr. Peanut because that's one of the more recent parts of their history as a city, but also they are one of the largest employers in the community. Another thing I was thinking about doing was possibly coming in here. This line obviously wouldn't really be there. I'm just using it as a line of demarcation, if you will. So I was thinking about maybe doing like roofs of houses and like maybe like a steeple of a church. And maybe like having like a city skyline coming through there. But again, this is just ideas. It's part of the reason I was hoping to do a live stream is I was hoping people would jump in the chat here and I'd be able to ask some questions of what people thought about the ideas. But I get it. Sitting here and watching somebody draw something might be a little boring for some people, I guess. I like this idea of how the train cut from across the river, across the county, going east to west here. And I was kind of thinking of doing a similar thing with the city, like kind of having it cut, having like the city cut through into here too. Let's not be dumb, Charles. How close? Maybe not even that. Let's I'm trying to decide how deep should this city line go down in here. Like, if I'm building a city, obviously this is going to be based more on the balance of the image than it is going to be based on any accuracy of the history of the city. But considering I do want to get Mr. Peanut in here, and one of the last things I was thinking about doing is maybe doing some like faces, faces of the future, and having some people, different genders and races and whatever, kind of look into the future. And I could do even some of the background, like smaller or whatever. And like, maybe looking at technology in the future. I don't know, maybe adding in the water tower. I thought would be a cool idea, like finding the water tower for the city, adding that in, with whatever their slogan or whatever might be. And then I was thinking again about the putting in a putting in some buildings like that just amidst the trees, which might be interesting. It wouldn't even necessarily have to be all on the same street. It's a concept. It's an idea. There isn't like a bunch of overlooks either, so just by getting a couple of popular roofs from the county and maybe looking at those might give me some more fuel for that idea. But I do like the overall general plan. Maybe two's a little too small. Let's go 4 or 5. There we go. Sorry, when I get into the zone, it's hard for me to remember that I need to be talking to people. That's my own fault. That makes me a bad streamer. I apologize. What I thought about here was taking, imagine I'm building in rooftops. So from what perspective would I be viewing this rooftop? So initially in my head, I imagined a box, just generic box, right? And just what if this box, jeez, boy, Charles, I'm moving all over too. If this box did indeed contain a building, right? Well, I would have to orient myself as if this was the building. And I know that roofs of buildings, right, they usually run along like this. And of course, it would look different from where we are up here, but they would that would be the front of this building. So I guess it would be like that, right? Something like that, right? I'm gonna take that, we can erase this, and you see we got the perspective of a roof. Not a great perspective, but just kind of taking it in my imagination here and saying, all right, so if I needed to adjust this roof to whatever POV I am, which wouldn't be that, that wouldn't be my POV. My POV for this, presumably, what my POV would be. And of course, because it's not a real thing, it doesn't matter how accurate it really is. But if I take it like this, and let's just imagine there is a church there, right, with a huge steeple. We would be almost directly behind them. So their steeple would go up like that, or their roof would, right? We'd be basically right behind them. It really doesn't matter how deep the church is from this perspective, although it may be interesting to add an adjacent roof or whatever. So I'm trying to see it as if I'm in that perspective, with this square like this. Boom, boom, boom. You see, you got me there. But I wanted to make it kind of off, so it's a little bit kind of like that. So this would be like, I could actually go in here like that. There we go. Okay, so we do that, and we draw, oh. Shave off some of that roof. Maybe clean up some of this. Boom. Boom. Right. So then I think in order to sell it a little better, go in here. Jeez. Go in here. Okay. Go in different thickness to some stuff. There we go. All right, so we're adding a building here. So if I'm imagining, just for the sake of the argument, I'm not going to try to be a teacher right now, but if this is our street, right, and the street's kind of wide, it may even go out a little wider this way, we kind of already have an idea of what perspective all of our buildings are going to be in because of that. Like, they're facing this street, right? So if they're all facing the street, there's a limited amount of perspectives that it could be in. You can make your house maybe at that angle. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you're trying to get it to face this direction, meaning out towards this street, you know, thus making your roof more like that angle, right? Boom, boom, boom. You see, now it's put a little roof in there. One of this. You've got your three-dimensional building being built there, you see? So I'm just trying to put these perspectives, put these things into perspective, I guess, as I'm thinking about where the street would be, because I don't really have that much room to be adding buildings, at least not that far back. Maybe up closer I could. Yeah, maybe up closer I could, but I'm not quite at that position yet. So okay. See, again, I think if that's a church, that's way too big of a building to be adjacent. It would need to be much smaller, like barely as big as that one side of that building there, at most. Right. So it's like roofs coming up. You see what I'm saying? I can even go in here if I wanted to, and I can even add highlights and stuff to make it more obviously roofs. But that's going to take me some time and effort to get into all that. Right now, I'm kind of at the drawing board, but you've got the concept. If you have any thoughts or ideas, or if you're familiar with Suffolk County, let me know what you think about it. I even put up a Reddit post in the Virginia Reddit, or Virginia, just to see what people felt, but the answers kind of fell on deaf ears, or the question fell on deaf ears. So if you're from that area or know the area well, what are some of your favorite things? I was thinking about also one of the things that is in Suffolk County is the Great Dismal Swamp, which is interesting. Swampland, the largest swamp on the East Coast, and much of it's actually been drained before in the past, so that's pretty interesting too. But the concept of putting that in, maybe back behind here or behind Mr. Peanut. Actually, let me see something here. I'm gonna look at this. Okay, we're gonna transform this. See if I can. If I move it over like this. And maybe I add the water tower back behind there. I kind of like that idea. Move it over a little bit. That way I can make more room over here. And I'm thinking that I will find their water tower, much like I have here. I think I'm going to take that, erase that, and we'll take it over here. I'm not sure. I think their Suffolk water tank is actually like an onion. Okay. All right. Let's drop that down. There we go. Put that about 10. And I'm pretty sure they have an oval one like that. And it might be one of these ones that does like this. I know that kind of looks like a water or a UFO right now, but it's more round than that. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Sketch, Charles, relax. I'm such a perfectionist. All right, yeah. Like, even the concepts I want to be accurate. And I'm pretty sure it's got some like antennas and whatever on it, but yeah, so I was thinking about maybe doing that because that's something everybody sees. Maybe the idea would be to put that just to the right of there so that well, that's terrible again. I don't like it. I like the first half. What happened to the second half of the circle, Charles? This is getting ridiculous. You know, just concept. Fuck it. You know, something like that. And then I got Mr. Peanut with this. I was also thinking about adding in some birds over here. Doing a little bit of this action right here, you know. Maybe hitting it with the... hitting it with a little bit of that, you know, a little bit of that bird action. And then I could take that. What the hell is this? Did I just hit that right now? How long's that been there? Oh, well, good Lord, who knows? So if I got that there, that kind of balances that out. Yeah, so I was also thinking about, because the military is such a big piece of the area here, maybe hitting this up here with give him one of these. Hit him one of those, maybe. Or maybe with new drone technology or whatever, where you have the double-decker drone. I don't want to celebrate Boeing, though, or anything, because Christ almighty, they're not doing well. But I do like the concept of, like, people, you know, just doing various people like the future. But that's kind of the concept that I'm going with. What do you think? If you're in the chat or you're watching this, post it being live, hit me in the comments. Give me a 1 if you like the concept. Give me a 2 if you think it needs work. And if you do hit 2, then please tell me what kind of ideas you have for the piece. Because again, that's part of the reason I did this. I'm excited to see what comes of it. I'm excited to work on my proposal too, to see if I can even get the, position. But I think it will be worth it. It's worth it to me just for the Jesus, Charles, just for the practice, the experience, So yeah, I've been working on that. And then yesterday I heard that Slew from the Slewniverse and Studio Slew and whatnot had come up with a new art competition that he wanted to propose to people. And there's some stuff up for grabs for people who enter the contest. And from what I understand right now, the actual contest is a life portrait, self-portrait, and life drawing competition. So yesterday I looked at a picture of myself and started working on a self-portrait, at least in the sketch form, that I may want to actually decide that I may actually want to paint or illustrate with markers or whatever. But as of right now, it's all just sketch ideas. So that's what I started work on yesterday was a little bit of this. So I figured before I wrap up the stream today, it would be cool to also maybe work on some actual drawing. So I think that's the plan, Stan. And if you can get down with that, stick around for another 25 or 30 minutes while I sketch here. And feel free to ask your questions in the comments. Again, I may not see them right off the bat. I kind of get in the zone when I'm drawing, but I am always willing to answer the questions if I can, or if I have any suggestions to people. I encourage it. You'll see that I'm working with just Bic number 2 pencils, and honestly, when I'm sketching my sketchbook, they're kind of the go-to that I find myself with it a lot. I like the way it feels in my hand. It feels tactile, or tactile, or tactical. It feels tactical. That's the word I'm looking for. More like a dart. You know, it feels light and dangerous in a way. I like it. So the contest is a self-portrait with a prop in it. And I, to be honest, just thought it would be fun to enter the competition. Whether or not I actually win, I'm not as concerned with. But just the opportunity to be involved, get my art in front of people, and possibly win, of course, encouraged me to pick up art supplies and use art supplies as my still life part of it, my prop. Boom, boom, boom. Light strokes, just barely. I'm just skimming the top of the paper here. Just letting that texture of the paper just pick up the slightest bit of grain from the pencil, and it can choose how much of it wants to put down. And if it puts down too much, you know, that's what erasers are for. You could always lighten things up a little bit if you needed to. Yeah, man. It's been a while since I've done a self-portrait. I actually intended to do one last year. You can see an old video on my channel where I drew a self-portrait a couple years ago, and I just did it kind of on a whim, and it was a learning experience. There was a lot of things going on in my life at the time then too. I do seem to be always having a lot of things going on, but cat died, and I broke my phone, and you know, there's just been a multitude of things going on. So I took 2 videos to complete a self-portrait, and I actually like it. It's in our bedroom, and we, you know, at least I look at it almost daily. But I wanted to do one last year to kind of see what I had learned over the previous year, and almost a challenge to myself. You know, how much better have you gotten? But with Rhonda dying, my stepmother, and with my hand surgeries and whatnot, it hasn't really felt like the time to get back into that painting. So this, in some ways, kind of fulfills that need I have in myself to work on a self-portrait too. So can't be mad about that. That's just more opportunity. All right, so this is my cheek overlaying, which I believe is that's what that's supposed to be. Then there's a shape that's kind of like this. There we go. And actually, it's more like that. There we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna just also I want to kind of get my values together because that's really what this grayscale sketch is for. Is if I decide to just submit this, I can just submit this drawing, but right now it feels more like this will end up being the sketch that will become the final work. I just want to work on getting my values in, make sure they read, make sure my sketch is accurate. Yeah. Yeah. Start filling in. Awesome. I like it. Get it just a little bit darker there. Maybe not. Maybe it's up a little higher. All right. Ooh. Let's just get in there a little closer. All right, everybody, get in there close. Let's get in there close. Take a gander at what I'm doing closer up. All right. Yeah. Draw every day, by the way. Always draw every day.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta get the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. Better see with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push that start pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Oh, what's my air conditioner cut on? Very good, very good. I'm liking the way it's coming together. It doesn't look exactly like me, but again, that's why I did this thumbnail sketch first, is because then if I'm not satisfied, I could always be like, all right, well, I'm not doing that. Let's work on a different one. Excuse me. I may feel like it's actually closer to what I'd hoped for when it gets closer to that point, but as of right now, I don't feel like it's where I want it to be. But it is enough for me to continue with the sketch and try to just see, you know, what I can do with it. All right. Oh, I look like a friggin' superhero villain or something. Oh. I'm gonna play that tune one more time. Well,
Even when you feel low, you can
yeah.
still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
And I'm gonna play
Even when there's no hope,
it a little bit louder.
I never answer to
And I'm gonna sketch us out here for the last 5 minutes. And at the end of this 5 minutes, I'll wrap it up. and we'll send you guys back to do whatever you're going to do with the rest of your afternoons.
To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, on the highway, and in the driveway, raising those flames. 'Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never ran, so to know, man, I still go. Go, 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 You got mine, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn it to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. And repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push that start there and you find a door. Open it up and finally explode everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no.
If you enjoy all things art, consider subscribing to the channel. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and X. I have some videos under my belt that I'll be putting up later, guys. I swear to God, I'm coming back. And if you're interested in occasional draw with me live streams, I'm really considering making that part of my routine. Maybe one live stream a week, and then videos in the future. Check me out at my website at charleshancockcreation.com. Thanks for all the support, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
But even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to